So hello everybody again. So we'll just take a few minutes to do a closing session. It's not the end of the conference because we have the young makers, the poster sessions. And so after this, well, Nathan will explain how to get there, but they will have all their individual rooms and you can go, and see the wonderful work that they're doing. But, because that will be more like people will be roaming and going different rooms, we decided to do the closing before. So first of all, we want to a huge thank you for all the chairs. As I said in the beginning, there's a lot of work that goes, behind the scenes to do a conference, like reading all the papers, reviewing 3 reviews for each paper. And I mean, it's a lot of work, and then selecting and chasing the reviewers and everything. So thanks a lot again, David Weintraub, Kylie Peckler, Colby Teffelberg, Camilla Matuk, Ann Eisenberg, Tamar Furman, Jen Rio, Brian Leitz, Sean Justice, Mike Dando, Aaron Riley, Brian Gravo, and Fabio Campos. Also Jimmy Key, also the winner of our award, Mike Eisenberg Award for Beautiful Learning Technologies, Natalie Freed, the demo chairs, and also Chris Proctor, the proceedings chair. And also, again, a big thank you for Jonathan Pang, who made all this happen, all the technical, organizational, logistics stuff. And I also want to thank the FabLearn Fellows. This is a group of people that have worked together since 2014. There are 2 cohorts of people that have joined this group of wonderful educators all over the world in almost all the continents. They help a lot with advertising the conference. They are presenting at the conference. They are co-chairing some of the sessions and all of that. So it's a wonderful group of educators. Thanks a lot for the FabLearn Fellows, and just reminding you that in November we'll announce the new cohort of fellows, and that we closed the applications just a few days ago. And we had 31 countries in this conference, which was amazing, and 367 registered participants, not counting the people who were on YouTube and other ways. So it was really quite amazing to see. We basically got to the same number of participants that we had in the face-to-face conference. So that was quite incredible. And we went from 23 to 31 countries. So that's amazing for us to see that making is not just a US and European phenomenon, it's all over the world. And to hear many of the voices from the global South, from Africa, from Latin America, from Asia, it was really incredible to see the wonderful work that's going on all over the world. And just as a reminder, there's a FabLearn Italy conference in December. And as I said, because it's online, it might be easier to participate. So stay tuned for that, for the website and announcements, and also a FabLearn Israel conference, also close to that one. Again, it will be online. But again, another great chance, opportunity to participate and get to know more of the work that's going on in different parts of the world. So, Nathan?
Yeah, and don't forget, we are going to have FabLearn hopefully in New York City in 2021-ish. We'll try to make it happen next fall, and so be looking for invitations to submit papers and to participate later. But we'll keep you updated on that information.
Yeah, and I also no, it's just one thing. It's going to be the number 10, the 10th conference,
right?
10. So we'll make it a special one.
It's going to be huge.
Huge. Just like the building over there.
I briefly wanted to mention the book, Designing Constructionist Futures. Again, many of the presenters have been able to contribute to this book. And so if you were inspired as I was by all the amazing work that is happening and the deep and powerful thinking behind the constructionist design and the maker movement, I would encourage you to take a look at it. You can see the URL down there below. We also have a special, we have a chapter. One of the chapters is an interview with Michael Eisenberg, and that chapter will be made available on that website at the URL for free. So you can, if nothing else, go to that website, download that chapter. It's incredible. It's really beautiful. I think it'll be up by probably next week sometime, and I'll tweet about it. But if you're interested in the larger book, do check it out. And we also wanted to mention, you may be wondering, well, what happened to all these workshops? I was really excited about workshops. That's a big part of what FabLearn is about. And I promise you, we have not forgotten about the workshops. We've just been really trying to kind of figure out the best way to make it so that we can all enjoy those workshops in this remote situation that we're finding ourselves in. So the workshops are happening, and we're announcing today that they are going to happen Saturday, November 7th. So be looking for information about that. We'll be emailing all of the registrants, providing you the different windows of times that those workshops are going to occur and which workshops are going to happen. And we hope that you'll be able to participate with us on that. It'll be exciting to be able to continue FabLearn for just a few more weeks. And briefly, let me tell you something about this next session. So we do have the Young Makers poster session coming up. And of course, the Young Maker panel that we had the other day was incredible. The Young Maker posters is surely going to be very exciting and interesting as well. And I hope you'll stick around for it. Just as a reminder, you go to the FabLearn Conference Canvas site, and on day 3, you should see Young Makers posters. If you click on that slides link, they'll take you to this big picture on the right, which is a slide deck of all of the different posters that are going to be available. And you can just click on the button in the top right-hand corner to take you to that Zoom room. And then from in there, you can select the breakout rooms button in the bottom and choose which room you'd like to go visit and talk to these amazing makers and hear how they, how they created their projects, what they've been thinking about, what they've been doing since they submitted these cool projects. Be sure to update your Zoom software. You can't select your own room if your Zoom software isn't updated. So it's important for you to do that before you join. But we'd love to see you all there. And really, make sure you take time to honor these brilliant makers that are going to be sharing their work in the next few minutes. And I think we, to wrap up, we each wanted to just say a couple words about the conference, about, our experiences here, and to say goodbye with you. I wanted to say, briefly, thank you all for being here with us these past 3 days. This is happening during a time when there's all sorts of fear, there's ugliness, there's all sorts of destruction and chaos in the world. But over the past 3 days, I feel like I've had an opportunity to see so many amazing, uplifting, interesting artifacts and research. And that was really, really wonderful to be a part of. So I hope we remember, as we enter into Monday and we have to fire up these Zoom machines again, that the kind of making that we're interested in, the kind of making that you guys are engaged in isn't just about fixing broken things. It's not just cleaning up the chaos, right? It's about imagining, it's about designing, and it's about actually bringing into being the future. And that's a really joyful and exciting thing for us to be able to take part in. So as we close out, I hope we can remember Mike Eisenberg's call to action, right? To keep putting beautiful things into the world. And I can't wait to see you all next year to see the beautiful things that you've created.
Sure. I mean, to echo a lot of what Nathan has just said, thank you all so much for coming and for sharing your fascinating and beautiful work with all of us and with yourselves. I learned so much fascinating, compelling new things in the last few days. It was really, really terrific. And I have to say, frankly, I was not sure that any of this was going to work and kind of terrified if we were going to be able to pull it off. And I want to thank again, especially Jonathan and Nathan and Paulo for doing such a beautiful job of making all of the gears kind of mesh and work together. And thank you all for being generous and for participating so generously. So thank you so much. I look forward to 2021. Hopefully it will not be so bad as 2020 has been.
Yeah, and so just a few words first. Do go to the Young Makers posters. It's really important that they see people coming and seeing their work. So don't disconnect. Really, try to go. I just want to say just quickly that, you know, in this 10 years of FabLearn and in 10 years of this movement, I mean, we see so many, you know, terrible things happening in the world and so much despair. And also like education has been criticized so much and blamed by, you know, for so many things that are actually not, you know, the responsibility of schools, and even more in the pandemic. But I think I just want to end with a reflection that, you know, despite all that, it's quite amazing that in just 10 years, like this movement started, you know, 10, 15 years ago. Of course, like there's a lot of stuff that happened before, but in just 10 years, look at how much we have accomplished as a community. So there are thousands of schools in the whole world with maker spaces. There is a new type of teacher, like the maker teacher. There's toolkits and materials and like and everybody's talking about it. And this is all. This was not part of a government plan. This was not part of like a startup company that came up with the idea. This was really something that came organically from educators, from researchers, from students all over the world. So I think it's also time for us to realize how much we have accomplished organically in this community, and to counter a little bit this idea that education never changes and teachers are not good and students are not good and everything. Like we really have accomplished a lot and we need to keep going, you know. But it's a beautiful thing what happened in the last 10, 15 years. And it shows that when we are together, you know, in this together and putting our best minds and hearts, wonderful things happen. So thank you all very much, and see you next year.
Go to the Young Maker posters. Woo!
Yes.